Melissa, this was reported earlier today by the Wall Street Journal, and now it has become official. An announcement by Foxconn and Lordstown Motors, where Foxconn is going to be taking an investment stake in Lordstown Motors. But the more interesting part of this agreement is that Foxconn, for $230 million, will buy most of the Lordstown Motor final assembly plant in Lordstown, Ohio. There are parts of it, including the motor hub facility, some of the other areas within the assembly plant, that will remain with Lordstown. But for the most part, Foxconn will become the owner and operator of this plant. It will work with Lordstown Motors to be the contract manufacturer for the Lordstown Endurance pickup truck. That's the model that they're trying to build, and hopefully they hope that they can deliver it by the end of this year, if not early next year. In fact, I think they've already moved it into early next year. The significance here, Melissa, is that this helps Lordstown Motors, A, with a cash infusion, and B, it gives them some certainty that perhaps they have a better chance of getting the Endurance pickup truck built and out on the road. For Foxconn, this is a great deal. You're getting a final assembly plant. Remember, it's the old GM plant, so it's not like you're having to build it from the ground up and wait however long it might take for that facility to be built. You've got a plant that is ready to go. That means contract manufacturing is ready to go relatively quickly. And as part of that, who's one of the companies that has already reached an agreement with Foxconn to have its vehicles manufactured by Foxconn here in the United States? Fisker. And you can bet Fisker will be doing this. In fact, we'll be talking with Henrik Fisker, the CEO of Fisker, tomorrow morning on Squawk Box about what this means for Fisker's plans to have a vehicle manufactured here in the United States. And perhaps that means it'll be out on the road a little bit quicker. But again, Foxconn buying the Lordstown Motors final assembly plant, almost all of it, not all of it, but a good chunk of it, and being a contract manufacturer for Lordstown Motors, and also taking a stake in Lordstown Motors. Melissa, back to you.
I have a couple of questions, Phil, and that is Foxconn taking a stake in Lordstown. Does that jeopardize any of the other relationships it might have with being, contract manufacturer for other electric vehicles? You mentioned Fisker, so I don't know if you think there's a problem, but if they have a stake in a competitor,
I don't think
theoretically.
It does.
Okay.
No, I don't think it does. Look, contract manufacturers are, by their nature, when you look at somebody like Magna, which builds a number of vehicles for a number of different automakers at its plant in Europe, that's the way it is with contract manufacturers. You make the agreement with that company that you've got the final assembly plant, we need you to build a vehicle, let's have a one-on-one relationship. Even if the vehicle that is being built may be competitive with another one where Foxconn has a relationship with a particular automaker. At the end of the day, if you are Foxconn, what you want, as many automakers as you can handle within a facility to come to you and to use you as a contract manufacturer. So they've got that facility now. Fisker is one of those clients, and likely it will be. Lordstown Motors will be another client.
So is Lordstown now basically an IP company with a small stake in a manufacturing facility?
They do have some manufacturing capabilities there. The electric motor hubs, that's not part of this agreement. They're not selling that, nor the facilities that build those electric motor hubs. That's not being sold over to Foxconn. So they do have some assets aside from the IP, but they needed this, Melissa. I mean, these guys were dying on the vine, and everybody knew it, and they needed to do something in order to get the cash infusion and to give them a shot at getting the Endurance out on the road.
All right, Phil, thanks so much for joining us with that breaking news. Phil LeBeau. Looks like a lifeline, Tim. Do you think it really is?
You need a much longer rope, and you need a lot more cash. They just announced that they've got about $240 million of cash on their balance sheet, down from where they'd expected. They have SG&A that's just been upgraded to $120 million. This was a company that, when we were chronicling this demise months back, was using words like concern of being a going entity. IP and technology are things that have a lot of value, and maybe that's the best way. And contract production is certainly a way to keep your cost base down, and really the only way they can do it. But I would be running far from this one. This to me is optionality for Foxconn. I get why they're there. As an investor in the equity of Lordstown Motors, I don't get why you're there.
All right. Lordstown up about 11% after hours on the news.